Whatever you want.
Okay.
All right, Doug Grog with Neff Automation here at the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers Expo in Lexington, and stopping by the ATI booth with my buddy Rob. We've known each other for several years and
yep.
keep getting connected over the years, so I love
right.
it. And so ATI, I've known them, most of the industry knows them as kind of the go-to for any of your quick tool changers. So before I mess up anything more, I'm going to let Rob go through and give the rundown on what he's showing here, maybe some of the newer things that you've got going on, and I might throw some questions in there, Rob.
Sure.
Take it away.
Okay, so just by way of introduction, Rob Marin with ATI Industrial Automation. Kentucky is part of my geography that I support for manufacturers and engineers, robot integrators, all up and down the automation supply chain. So what we produce at our headquarters in the Raleigh, North Carolina area are robotic end-of-arm tools, from manual tool changers, automatic tool changers, from the smallest robots with a 1 kilogram payload. Our largest tool changers can handle a 4,000 kilogram payload.
Giddy up, I love it.
Yep. And what we supply with our tool changers is a variety of modules to handle all kinds of electrical pass-through. So sensor signals, field bus communications, running power for servo motors, anything that you need to run on a robot, we can run through our tool changers. And the reason to use a tool changer is to allow your robots to do a variety of tasks. So if you can have a robot in a cell, if it's doing a gripper of one size or configuration, it can drop that tool off, come over, pick up another tool, complete another task within the same cell.
Yeah, the great point. And so, we're looking at two different ways of doing this, right? You talk about the automatic changing, right?
Yes.
So that's hey, set it and forget it. You'll, in some factories, you'll see where they'll have just a line of tools. So whether it's, grippers, drills, sanders, whatever is needed, they'll just have a line of tools and they'll quickly be able to change from one to the other because of these. Now, the other method that he was talking about is the manual. So this is more of, hey, we're just doing a tool changeover from process to process. We don't need the automatic version, but once a couple times a day, a shift or something, hey, I'm changing over tooling. We got a little manual.
Yeah, so this is specifically designed for cobot applications. It has the bolt pattern that's used on the FANUC CRX and UR robots and other related cobots.
Yeah, because that's just the ISO mount, right?
Yeah, the ISO mount. That's exactly it. So this side will stay permanently attached to the robot wrist, and this half will go onto whatever end-of-arm tool you're using. If you need air pass-throughs for grippers or cylinders, we've got those built into this device. And then you can also run electrical modules on this end if you need to have sensors on your gripper or cylinder. So those can be equipped on this manual tool changer. This is rated for 25 kilogram payloads. So again, on the lighter side, but if you're doing manual changeouts, this is a very handy device to have.
And great, you mentioned the collaborative robots, right? So great extra tool, right, to use with UR20, UR30, and then use those grippers from PhD, from Robotique, from PIAB. That's where Neff comes in, right? That's why these partnerships work so great between ATI, Neff, so many other MDM partners is, they provide these quick tool changers so that we can adapt our end-of-arm tooling to the UR robot or whatever robot you have. So you got some
I'll highlight two other areas, two other main product lines. These are our material removal tools. So if you're doing deburring on a machined part or a casting, or needing to do deflashing on injection molded plastic parts, instead of having manual operators, with a knife or the machinist blade trying to do deburring, automating this takes that dirty, dangerous, dull task away from the operators and do it robotically.
That's what it's about.
So deburring, this is an orbital sander. We have this in 5-inch or 6-inch pads. Okay. So doing orbital sanding. This is our angle grinder. So for weld cleanup, metal cleanup, anything that where you would use an angle grinder, now put it on a robot. Do that dirty task automatically.
And an important thing to note here is the built-in compliance, right? So,
yes.
Because that's giving you your force feedback, right?
Well, the reason for compliance is when you're programming a robot, it's going to go on its path every single time. Well, with items like castings, perhaps the deburring is a little uneven, or perhaps the part isn't fixtured perfectly. Having some wiggle room, either axially or kind of like this joystick motion that we call radial compliance, will allow effective deburring to take place even if the programmed path is not perfect relative to the part.
Yeah, great. I love it.
The last product I wanted to highlight is our force and torque sensors. The basic description that I use for these is, we're all familiar with the load cell, being able to highly accurately measure the push or the weight of something. But being able to measure and monitor the push and pull in X, Y, and Z directions, plus rotational torques, all of that in one device. Something along this size would be used on cobot size applications. But again, we have a variety of sizes. Our smallest force sensors are about the size of my fingernail, or we go up to very large force sensors for much larger robots. So a variety of tasks, again, for process verification, for measurement, for monitoring, wherever you need to know or give that robot a sense of touch to know that it's not only programmed to a certain path, but the robot can feel, are things fitting together correctly, or does something bind up and needs corrected? So a great variety of applications, both in industry and in research, are where our force torque sensors find application.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate the rundown there. Always a pleasure seeing you, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doug.